The Fargo Target store is going after a piece of the liquor business, and its new department should be open in about 6 months. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with the Valley today. We're just getting started with our nonstop news and weather to the top of the hour to help you plan your day.
Fargo City Commissioners voted unanimously last night to allow Target to sell beer, wine, and spirits. The city auditor says the new store will be built on the north side of Target, and there will be a separate entrance from the parking lot. New this morning, a Minnesota Police Department that's already rallying around an officer who was shot earlier this year just wrapped up another intense situation in their town that had the community on edge again. Waseca police arrested a man after a 5-hour standoff on the city's south side.
Officers were called to a report of someone inside a home with a gun right around 6 last night. People inside the home were able to get out. Nearby neighbors were told to shelter in place. The suspect was taken into custody just before midnight. There are no reports of anyone hurt.
This standoff happened just a few blocks from where Officer Eric Matson was shot in early January while he and fellow officers responded to a call of a suspicious man. Matson is now recovering from his injuries.
8 minutes before 7 o'clock. Let's get a check of our storm team forecast with Lisa Green on this Tuesday morning.
Good morning. We're getting a better look at those clouds moving through now that the sun is coming up. We can see we got 2 layers here, a light layer of cloud cover or a low layer of cloud cover moving through. You can actually see it moving pretty quickly from the north as that cooler air moves in. And then higher up, we're seeing some clouds too. And then just a little sliver of that sunrise showing up in our eastern horizon. So things are pretty quiet to start off today. So that means our travel, if you have any plans for that this morning, we should be okay. There are some places Devin mentioned, some places where we're a little bit slick in the metro, and anywhere where we've had some melting and refreeze, there could be some icy patches you'll want to watch out for. But other than that, it's looking like a quiet travel day here in the valley, at least. Different story for other parts of the Dakotas. Temperatures right now, it's 9 in Fosston, 17 in Fargo, 16 in Grand Forks, and 20, our warm spot in the valley, at least in Sisseton there. Now here's that wind. It's coming in straight out of the north in most instances. We've got some speeds into the teens and a couple of places into the 20s, Grand Forks and Langdon as well. And that's going to be bringing down our wind chills here this morning, but it will also keep our temperatures down today as that cooler air just continues to drive in. Checking out your wind chills, 3 below in Grand Forks. It's 1 above in Fargo. So if you've been ditching that heavier winter coat the last few days because it's been so mild, you'll want to put it back on today and grab those gloves too, especially if you're planning to be outside here. Here's a look at that radar now. You can see we've got active weather down in the Black Hills and the Rapid City area. They have a winter storm warning going on there. Here in the valley, we've quieted down. Still seeing that potential for a few flakes in the south and west. You can see some of that showing up on the radar just over I-94 in Stutzman County, something to watch out for. But overall, we're just looking at some partly to mostly cloudy skies for your Mardi Gras. Speaking of, we've got your forecast for today, a high of 24 degrees, so cooler than recent days, but not too bad. Partly cloudy. That wind will be an issue for us throughout the day today. And looking ahead this week, cool Wednesday and Thursday. We kind of double down on that cooling and we'll only see highs in the low teens, but we're warming right back up. Good timing yet again for the weekend. Temperatures back into the mid to some upper 30s this weekend. And now for a look at traffic, here's Devin Fry with the Valley Today's traffic on the move.
Thank you, Lisa. We are going to finish up this hour on I-29. We are heading north toward Grand Forks. You know, we just got off of 32nd Avenue, and that was one of our busier roadways when we first were checking out the FM area this morning, and it has gotten busier as the morning goes on. So as this morning continues to move on, as we get closer and closer to the start of the workday, that area is going to keep getting busier. So just be on the lookout for that as you make your way out the door today. Now, looking at I-29 right now, it's a little bit lighter out here than what I expected it to be at around this time. I-94 is about at its normal traffic level, but here on I-29, things are moving very smoothly, which is good news there. You can see there's plenty of space around me. There's a little bit of a buildup here as we get past the I-94 interchange, but it's really nothing above what we normally see for this time of the day. So good news as you make your way out the door today. Like Lisa mentioned, there are some slick spots here and there. Our less traveled roadways are still a little bit frozen from that overnight refreeze we had, so just be on the lookout there today. What day is today? It is Taco Tuesday, so ole the day at Taco John's. For your traffic on the move, I'm Devin Fry.
4 people are hurt, 1 critically, after a rollover during an attempted traffic stop. It happened yesterday afternoon in Dakota County near the Twin Cities. The State Patrol says they were trying to pull over a driver going 86 in a 60-mile-per-hour zone when they say he tried passing a semi and another car.
Troopers say the driver was met by another vehicle at the top of a hill, swerved back into his lane at high speeds, and then rolled multiple times in a ditch. A 17-year-old girl from Hastings has life-threatening injuries. The driver and 2 other passengers were also hurt. NDSU students are remembering a classmate who died over the weekend in a snowmobiling accident. 22-year-old Benjamin Anderson of Hoffman, Minnesota, died after his sled fell through thin ice on Olson Lake in Grant County.
Anderson was a member of Alpha Gamma Rho fraternity. They held a candlelight vigil in his memory last night. Police are asking people to check their security cameras for any clues into a rash of vandalisms in South Moorhead. There have been a number of cases reported in the past week or so around Bellesley Boulevard and 9th Street South, where apartment mailboxes were pried open.
3 complexes were hit on Saturday when mailboxes were forced open and emptied. 2 vehicles were also spray painted with racial slurs in the 400 block of Horn Avenue, but police are not sure yet if the incidents are related. Some NDSU students are stepping up to help people with their taxes this year. It starts tonight at the main library on campus from 6:30 to 9.
Students are offering help Tuesday nights through April 7th. The service is free and walk-in clients are welcome. The countdown to the 2020 Summer Olympics continues, and we're learning about some of the sports that you'll be seeing on your TV.
The Valley Today's Abby Firscher joins us live this morning from American Gold Gymnastics. Good morning, Abby.
Good morning, Lisa and Jordan. I'm here with Whitney Beck, who is the competition director for American Gold Gymnastics. And gymnastics, that is going to be a must-watch at the Summer 2020 Olympic. I think it's a fan favorite. But we've talked a lot about women's gymnastics, but we do have Levi here joining us this morning as well. And I kind of want to talk about men's. What exactly is he doing as they're doing beam?
So Levi's working on the pommel horse. The pommel horse is an event unique to men's gymnastics, and I would say it's most similar to the women's balance beam, and then it requires a lot of concentration and balance. It's a more precise event than like your tumbling or vaulting events that are more powerful.
And when it comes to women's gymnastics, I want to kind of go back to that because they're all on the beams here. They're filling them up. When it comes to scoring them, is it kind of similar to what we've been talking about all morning?
Yeah, beam is similar to floor. There is an artistic element to it. There's a performance value, but it's the same as bars as well, where they're trying to combine a certain number of elements to make the most maximum difficulty score that they can with the best execution score that they can as well.
And so what do you think is maybe one of the hardest out of all the ones we talked about this morning? What is maybe the hardest skill to develop? Is it floor? Is it beam? Is it bars?
If you're a great tumbler, floor and vault typically come easier if you're very powerful, and beam is very similar to floor. So bars is always the one event that kind of typically requires a little bit different development for the athletes, and so often that's the one that athletes find the hardest, but then you have some athletes that find that the easiest, and floor and vault come more difficult. So it's an individual thing. It depends on the athlete.
Definitely depends on the gymnast, but I've just been mesmerized all morning by these gymnasts. It is definitely not just flying through the air and tumbling. There's a lot of skill that goes into it. So it's definitely something you're going to want to keep your eye out for the Summer 2020 Olympics.
Fun to see all the talent we have here in Fargo as well. Future Olympians may be right there.
They very well could be. Abby Firscher reporting live. Thank you very much this morning.
Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question: in a worldwide survey of cell phone etiquette, this was the #1 rated rude cell phone behavior.
The answer is having your cell phone on speakerphone in public. Yeah, that's really not that great, but a good thing to use your cell phone for, the VNL weather app.
Yes, a great tool to keep track of the weather, keep track of those temperatures today. They're going to be a little chillier out there. We're looking at a little sliver of that sunrise peeking through, but we stay in the teens and 20s through the day today.
The Valley Today continues. You can join us right now on the Fargo CW.